What's up, YouTubers? My name's Jess Smith. If you're joining me on my channel for the first time, welcome. I'm here to help you learn how to make good vibes your default using scientifically proven, ancient, and natural methods. In this video, we're going to talk about the 7 different ways that you can build up your self-worth. Now, in a past video, I talked about the 3 necessary things that you need in order to master the art of manifesting. One of those steps was allowing, and allowing had a lot to do with not just your faith and not just being patient, but understanding your worth and what you deserve in life. If you believe that you don't deserve it or this is the best it's going to get, and we were talking about relationships as an example, if you believe that that's the relationship that's it for you and it can't get any better, then that's going to be it for you. It's what you believe and who you are that is going to attract what you want. So if you are struggling with self-worth and loving who you are in this moment, then this video is going to help you out. Now, before we get into the 7 different ways of how you can build your self-worth, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Click the notifications bell. Every week I'm coming out with a video that's going to help you on your journey to self-discovery, self-healing, and making good vibes your default. Now, I'm going to talk about 7 different exercises that you can implement in your daily life to help build up your self-worth, your belief of how worthy you are. Before I get into that, though, I do want to make a couple of important notes. So one of the questions that I want to ask before we get into the 7 different exercises that you can implement is asking, where does our self-worth and our self-talk develop? Our self-worth is coming from the words and the dialogue that are within us. And where does that come from? Studies have shown that self-talk is actually developed in childhood, early childhood. And it's not about the quantity of the self-talk, but about the quality. When a child perceived that their significant other was talking to them in a negative way, it led to lower self-esteem and higher levels of anxiety. That same self-talk that child was absorbing has now been the inner dialogue of that now adult or teenager as that child grows into their life. So the dialogue that we're hearing as children can often influence our inner dialogue. What our parents, grandparents, teachers, significant others in our lives have been telling us can sometimes absorb into our being and then create a false belief of what we're worth or create a belief of unworthiness. So ask yourself, what does your self-talk sound like when you're going through an uphill battle or you're struggling in life or maybe things just aren't working out the way that you thought they should? What are you often telling yourself? Are you that person who's telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to get through this, it's going to be okay, I'm divinely guided, I'm protected, things will unfold the way they should, or everything's happening for a reason? Or are you the type of person who is going through a struggle and saying, this is it, this is my life, why am I living through this? Life is hard, today's going to be a terrible day. What does your self-talk sound like? And you know what? It's okay if it's not great. It's okay if what you're telling yourself is it's going to be a terrible day or I'm not going to make it through this. Because if you're that person and you're saying that to yourself, even today as you're watching this video, guess what? I'm here for you. That's why I'm putting these videos out, because I want you to learn the tools that are necessary to reprogram and shift your mental imagery, your self-talk, and also how you perceive yourself and life happening around you. I want to make good vibes your default. So if you're saying those things to yourself, then stick around and please click that subscribe button because I'm here to help you. Speaking of reprogramming, the question then becomes, how do we reprogram our brains? How do we reprogram what we're telling ourselves and what we're believing so that we're no longer harming our psyche and our subconscious mind, but we're actually helping ourselves and we're allowing ourselves to build up that self-worth? So let's get into the 7 different exercises that you can implement daily. The first exercise, and this is really key, is to question all of your thoughts, all of your mental imagery, and all of your self-talk dialogue. Question it. Is it helping you in this moment? Does it give you a good feeling inside your body? For example, if you're telling yourself, this is what is and I can't change it, so you're telling yourself you can't change something, how does that make you feel when you tell yourself that you can't? How does it make you feel when you tell yourself I need, or I don't have, or I must, or I should? What vibration, what emotions do you feel inside your body when you use those phrases? Is it helpful or is it harmful? Question those thoughts. Ask yourself, is it your reality right now? What is your reality? What blessings do you have in life? Do you have people committed to you? Do you have people who are proud of you? Ask yourself those questions. Why is going down this road dangerous? Should I be going down this road of thought patterns? Is it going to help me if I continue to think about this? So the first step is question all of those thoughts. The second thing that you can become aware of is recognizing when people around you are creating dialogue of making you feel unworthy. There's also that saying that who you're surrounded by is also who you become. Like the top 5 people in your life are who you're going to grow into be like. Are you surrounded by the people who are helping you grow, or are you surrounded by the people who are keeping you from growing and who are stagnant in their own lives? Now, I know that sometimes people's intentions are not to make you feel unworthy, but just remember that, your personal healing journey, your journey to self-discovery is different, and not everybody grows at the same pace. So giving them the benefit of the doubt, but also acknowledging that maybe they're just not right for this season of your life as you begin your journey towards self-discovery and self-healing. Dr. Brian Swimme, who's the author of The Universe is a Green Dragon, gave an amazing talk at Google, and this talk was really inspiring to me. He said that there's a cosmic arm of energy that sweeps through the galaxies, and it ignites stars in different systems, solar systems and different galaxies. And these stars then become suns, and those suns then create a solar system and then create life on those planets that surround them. So maybe you're being hit by that solar wave of energy and you're being lit up and you're being wakened up to what your purpose is, or that you have a purpose and you want to discover it, or that you need to heal some of those wounds and you want to get back to your whole self again. But maybe that arm hasn't swept through everybody that you know yet. And so don't worry, have faith. That arm is going to sweep through and everybody's going to get hit with that wave of inspiration to grow and expand. The third exercise that I would ask you to implement even on a daily basis, but if you can't do it daily, then hopefully every other day or just at least once a week, is to give yourself some time to be in your own energy. As you're going through this process of discovering what wounds you have, discovering the tools and techniques to heal them, you might have that which does not serve you anymore coming up. And when we don't give ourselves time to process, that stuff that is not serving us could spill out onto others, and then our stuff that isn't serving us will be on those other people and it won't be serving them either. So it won't help your relationships if you're constantly spilling out all that negative energy. But it's good to release that negative energy. Some people like to cry. I'm a crier. I'll go off into my corner and just cry it out. It'll be the ugly cry, and I'll journal about it or I'll write about it in my phone. That way I can understand how to process some of those emotions. Also, talking to people who are supportive, but understanding when they're ready to help support you in that way is very important. Some people might not be mentally and emotionally ready for that information to come to them and help you in that way. So just being mindful of that. But the third exercise is definitely taking some time to yourself to be in your own energy, to be alone, to process, and to do some self-care practices, whatever that looks like for you. For me, self-care is, because I have 3 kids, it's taking a nap. It's it's going to the gym, actually. I mean, I only get like an hour now with kids club being, limited, but it used to be the sauna steam room, and that's not open right now because of COVID. But those are the things I like to do for myself. I get to be in my own energy. I don't have to answer questions to anybody. I get to put my headphones on and really just zone out and go into a meditative state of being with myself. So the gym, doing yoga, it's always going to be at the gym, because if I do yoga at home, I have kids climbing me. Taking a nap, or just going somewhere in the house where nobody is and letting my husband know, like, I'm taking some self-care time, like, please don't bother me, and please take the kids, take them somewhere. The fourth exercise is to switch up your mental imagery, and this has a lot to do with what you're telling yourself. Self-talk leads to mental imagery patterns, which leads to emotions, which leads to more thought patterns, and that also kind of inhibits or prohibits your level of performance and the actions you take in life. So paying attention to what images are you seeing in your head? Are you seeing yourself succeeding, or are you seeing yourself failing? Are you seeing yourself in a healthy relationship, or are you constantly focused on the unhealthy relationship that you're in? Or maybe it's a car. I did this with a car once. I told myself I'm worth it. I deserve a brand new car that I don't have to constantly pour money into to fix. So I had to change up my mental imagery, because what I was focused my mind on, and the mental imageries that I was constantly seeing was my broken car. And so I had to switch it up and tell myself, no, I deserve to not have to worry about this anymore. And so I had to change my mental imagery, which also meant changing how I talked to myself. But that was the first exercise. So now we're in the fourth exercise, leading into mental images. Question those mental images. What are you constantly seeing in your head? If you don't like what you're seeing, switch it up. What do you want to be seeing? If you don't like seeing yourself fail inside your head, then see yourself succeeding inside your mind. See yourself accomplishing that goal and that dream. In this way, you're taking control of how you envision your life, and you're practicing an exercise that is subconsciously telling you that you deserve what you are seeing in your mind, that you believe on a subconscious level that you are worthy of that experience. So changing up the way you talk and changing your mental imagery is necessary in building that self-worth, because on a subconscious level, you're telling yourself, I am worthy. I can have this. Why do I know I can have this? Because I can see it in my head. That's how I know I believe I'm worthy. Exercise number 5 that you can do every day is you can create a mantra. You can wake up in the morning and just create a brand new mantra every day, or repeat the mantra that you feel suits you best. I like to start my mantras off with I am. It's a powerful tool and technique that I learned from Dr. Wayne Dyer. I'll leave in the description box below all the helpful tools and books that I've gotten over the course of the last decade that's helped me through this process of becoming worthy and really reprogramming what I'm telling myself. Now, if you're like me, I grew up with less than ideal circumstances. I had a very young mom, and she did the best she could with what she knew. But that meant that I had a lot of catching up to do when I was in my 20s about who I was and who I wanted to be and what I deserved. So I had a lot of negative self-talk already developed inside of me that I had to reprogram. I was suffering from depression and anxiety. I wasn't having gratitude in my everyday life. So create this mantra where you can build up your self-worth. I am worthy is a great one to start with, but maybe even getting more specific. I am worthy of this job that I really desire. I am worthy of, if you're a YouTuber like me, 100 million subscribers. I don't know if 100 million is doable. I don't know anyone that has 100 million subscribers. But anyways, I'm worthy of 1.5 million subscribers. I'm worthy of people purchasing my book that I wrote. I haven't written a book yet, but if you wrote a book, then telling yourself that couldn't hurt. I'm worthy of a relationship that I desire. I'm worthy of a healthy relationship. I'm worthy of loving myself, who I am today. Whatever phrase resonates with you and makes you feel really good about yourself, that's the phrase that you want to say every day. Exercise 6 is doing yoga so that you can release that physical tension that you feel in your body anytime you don't feel worthy of something. Usually when I'm feeling nervous and I'm feeling a little self-conscious and insecure, what I've noticed is that my hips will tense up and my lower body will tense up. And yoga is really my go-to practice for relaxing the body and the mind and reprogramming that which does not serve me anymore. In fact, in another study by Dr. Camilla Vorkapik, it's called Yoga and Mental Health. It's a study on how yoga has really been beneficial for people who desire to reprogram their mental state of being. I always advocate for yoga, but if yoga's not for you, I totally understand. My husband's a personal trainer, so what he does to help release that tension is he likes to lift weights. He does stretch, but he's just not into doing yoga in the same way that I am, and that's totally fine. But what I'm really telling you to do for exercise number 6 is to get physically active. I'm going to always advocate for yoga because time after time, study after study, and for millennia, there has been benefits to doing yoga, because yoga is so much more than just stretching. It's getting into a meditative state, it's getting into a state of pure bliss, it's connecting your mind, body, and spirit, and it's also connecting to something outside of yourself that is divine, or godlike, if you want to call it. Now, if yoga's not for you, just do something physical. Go on a walk, lift weights, do something physical. Exercise is what I'm trying to tell you for exercise number 6 on a daily basis. So maybe you can't go to the gym every day, but I bet you can lay in child's pose and do pigeon pose, or do some spinal twists, or do some downward dog, 3-legged dog. I bet you that you can do those, maybe just 3 every day. In fact, if you do that, your body's gonna love you for it, and when your body loves you, your brain follows, and vice versa. And finally, exercise number 7 that you can implement on a daily basis is to meditate. What is meditation? How do I do it? Am I doing it properly? I don't even know how to meditate. I'm not good at meditating. Those are all the things that I've heard my clients say, my friends tell me, and so they're always asking me, look, how do I do that? Like, I'm not good at it, and I don't know how to quiet my mind. My mind is just always going. You know what? Check out my other video where I give you 3 steps to make meditating easy. I promise you it will help you, and the more you practice doing those 3 steps, the better at meditating you'll become. But meditating every day allows your mind to shut down. You're not thinking about that grocery list. You're not thinking about what YouTube video you have to film, or what assignment you have to do for school, or whatever it is that you have going around the house. I have 3 kids, so I know what it's like to have your mind constantly going and to have the tasks never ending. Laundry is the one thing that I can think about that never ends. It never ends. So meditating is a must for me as a mom of 3, it's a must for me as a yogi, and it's a must for me as an instructor and a guide for you all. Meditating helps me be with myself, be in my own state of energy, and not have to think about all the other things out there. Ask yourself, when's the last time you've been effortless? I mean, when has the last time that you didn't do anything at all? Hopefully you get to do that often. If you're a parent like me, or if you have several jobs, which I know a lot of people who have multiple jobs, especially living in California, you have to work. You gotta hustle to make that paper. You gotta hustle to pay the bills. So when is the last time you didn't do anything? When's the last time you just sat there? Meditate every day. Your brain's gonna thank you, and if your brain thanks you, your body will thank you, and if your body and your brain are on the same page, you're gonna feel so much better about who you are and who you are becoming. The journey to becoming whole is not an easy journey, so as you're doing these practices that I'm telling you, when you feel like you need to cry, if you feel like, I just feel a little confused, I feel fuzzy, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, it's totally normal. When you're shedding a lot of stuff, you're creating a void inside of you. And so now it's time to figure out, who do you want to become? What are you going to fill those voids with? If you're releasing things that aren't serving you, what are you going to replace those with that do serve you? What thoughts, what images, what people, what actions, what activities are you implementing in your life that are going to help fill those voids? It's not an easy journey. So if you need help through this journey, again, click that subscribe button. Share this video with somebody that you think could benefit from this video. I'm really here to help. You can also check out my website in the description box below. I do have this fall, I have an online course coming out where I teach you not only how to be emotionally intelligent, I teach you how to master the law of manifesting, the law of attraction and vibration, in other words. Now, why does that have to do with emotional intelligence? Well, our emotions help us to attract certain things in our life because the law of vibration states that like attracts like. So if we're constantly worried, if we're constantly feeling down about ourselves, if we're constantly feeling unworthy, we're going to attract things that match that vibration. So you are going to learn in this online course with videos and modules that you get to complete on your own. You're going to learn how to become emotionally intelligent, how to become aware of the vibration that you're sending out, how to shift out of negative vibrations because life happens. It's normal to be up and then down and then up and then down. That's life. But learning how to shift, learning those alchemical tools that are natural and ancient and scientifically proven to help you get out of a negative mindset is what you'll be learning. And you'll also learn how to master the law of attraction so that you can attract the life that you truly deserve and desire. Thanks for joining me today for this video. My name's Jess Smith, and thanks for watching. Namaste.